Hello and welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore and our preview of round 8.
You wouldn't want to see the bloopers, but anyway, before we started recording.
Interesting.
They didn't make it in, did they?
They won't make it in, ever.
Well, particularly because it was about politics for starters.
Anyway, continue.
So if you're enjoying the channel, go ahead, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that button too. Our Ankle Sore community is growing at a rapid pace, so thanks for being a part of it. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get an alert when a new episode drops. So it's elections. The elections are on Saturday, aren't they? Yes.
Oh, already?
Yeah, it is
So
Saturday.
it's election weekend.
No, I think I'm pretty
I
sure
didn't do my history on
I think
who's
it's
on top of the ladder. I think Collingwood wins every election.
I think Malcolm Fraser will win this election.
You don't reckon Bob Hawke?
Nah, I don't think so. But anyway,
What about Andrew Peacock?
nah, I don't like birds. Anyway,
So,
Do you know Collingwood hasn't lost on election day since about 1950 something?
No, I don't
no,
know
I had
that.
no
It's
idea.
true.
But I'll
and they're
tell-
playing on Saturday too. So
I'll tell you something. I remember voting in 99.
Yep.
is that the last time you voted?
No. No.
Is that about 25
I'm getting to a
fights
story. I remember
Well,
voting in 1999
Yeah.
before the preliminary final.
Oh, yeah.
Essendon.
And I was there already at the game.
Well, you're a silly boy.
No, because we were watching the night before, so we had to wait for tickets.
Grand
for
final tickets.
Wait for tickets.
We had to those days, mate. That's the way it was.
That's right.
Anyway, we're going to talk footy or
We could.
We're not talking cricket, are we?
We could.
perhaps?
Thursday night, Marvel Stadium at 7:30. Essendon meet North Melbourne.
That's a rare one for us.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Thursday
I think
night.
it's their first. Oh, well, they might have. I think they played a final on a Thursday night.
No,
one
I'm
year.
talking about in the, lately, we never
Essendon
get
don't
near
play
this.
Thursday night, though.
Those are never. Yeah, well, they played 3 weeks ago against Port Adelaide.
But they did so.
Did they?
Anyway,
I think every
go
club
around.
gets a Thursday night game this
Maybe.
year.
simple this game.
Simple.
Paul
High score wins.
Paul Curtis plays, North lose by 3 goals. Paul Curtis doesn't play, North lose by 5-6 goals. That's all.
No, he's
That's
delusional.
That's the barometer.
No, that's
He's
it.
delusional.
Better turn that off. Got a text message. Sorry about that.
2.5 years, we haven't learned.
The first rule.
That's
The
my
first rule. Phones on silent.
Don't talk about phones.
That's what I honestly think. Oh, that's it. Essendon's better equipped, play better footy. Don't worry about North last week. And they'll go out there and do the job. Whether we've got
Better equipped.
our best, he's our best player at the moment, Curtis. You agree?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's.
So I said, if he plays, we stay in the game and we'll get close. If he doesn't, he'll be comfortable. Essendon 5
You don't
goals.
reckon the performance against Port Adelaide, if they carry that into Thursday night, they can get Essendon on the back of Anzac Day and
No,
no.
Wow.
not good enough. I'm being honest. You know me, mate.
you know,
I love.
yeah.
I love. You know this game. I'd love to see North win. You know that, but I just can't.
But
see
they
it.
can win.
even without Tony Curtis.
Well, it's a less of a percentage of chance. Yeah,
Okay.
less of a chance.
So you're tipping North, are you?
No, I'm not.
I didn't think so. That's my thought.
Can I have
Go.
a say there?
Boss,
Saying
sorry.
that you're going to have your say in club
Oh,
corner.
that's true. That's true. I can elaborate then.
Bloody.
It's a bad start this episode.
No, it's not
It's
good.
just a shocker. We should
not
start
good.
over. North win. Move on.
Move on. Okay.
Is he all right? No,
North win.
Move on.
What do you want to say?
Sorry. I forgot. Essendon have got the world beaters up forward. I forgot.
You got Caddy.
Caddy.
Yeah, that's
Caddy will kick 6 on Thursday night.
6. Okay. You're lucky if you get 6 kicks. Anyway.
Anyway, Friday at 7:40. It's at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda versus Fremantle.
The Ross Lyon Cup.
It is.
The Ross Lyon Cup. It is.
It is.
So what else is happening at 7:40 that night? Because I have zero desire to watch.
I know on
this
Classics
stupid
there's
game.
Gilligan's Island. I forgot the time it's
Classics?
on Classics on Fox.
Oh, okay. I might watch that.
I think
Gilligan's Island.
Escape to from Alcatraz is on one of the classics on Foxtel.
They should watch that,
What?
St Kilda.
Who's the guy with the glasses and the grey hair that used to introduce the movies? Collins.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't Bill Collins? Was it Bill
Bill
Collins?
Collins. Midday.
No,
Midday
about night. You used to do it at night too.
But also midday because I'd come over. From,
No, it was. I'll tell you, it wasn't I'll tell you, it was during the day. Mark my words.
No, you're thinking of someone else.
No, Bill Collins is night, but during the day when we'd been at school, the midday movie, Ivan Hutchinson.
Oh, yes. That's the one.
maybe it
The
wasn't.
grey
Yes, it
hair.
was.
He had the grey hair.
Grey hair, glasses.
Ivan Hutchinson, mate. He was.
And he used to talk
Well,
very quietly.
maybe I wasn't at school, but anyway.
He
used
spoke,
to talk
he spoke
very quietly.
He spoke like Kevin Hines from So What.
No,
Anyway.
he didn't have a whistle.
No, he didn't have a whistle.
He didn't have a whistle.
Anyway,
What else could we
we've
do on a Friday night?
Not watch this rubbish. This is the worst game of the year. St Kilda Fremantle.
I actually think Freo will actually win this game.
How can they
Of course
not?
they will.
All they have to do is show up.
Nah, St Kilda, all jokes aside,
They're
we're going to talk
inept.
footy. Yeah, they've lost completely.
Yeah.
And did you
so they
see
should have.
Ross Lyon, mate? He was in the huddle. They showed him. He was angry, and I don't think St Kilda actually even replied to what he said. I can't see them getting close. When I say close, I can get a hiding, but 4 goals.
They're a little
4 or 5
dysfunctional.
goals, Freo.
Freo were pretty good last week.
Yeah,
against
no, I think
Adelaide.
they'll win.
Yeah, they're okay.
I think they'll win.
No, yeah.
What are you thinking?
They
seriously?
fell away in that last quarter last week, didn't they, Freo? But Freo will win comfortably, absolutely comfortably. St Kilda's fallen away a little bit. They've lost their way. They've lost structure. They've lost the ability to score. They're subbing blokes out 22 minutes in the first quarter.
No, it's true.
I think Fremantle will come over and comfortably
Get the job
set
done.
their season back up.
I agree. Totally.
And those Nuggets are looking. It's
Yeah,
Freo
this is for Nuggets. Yes, Freo and Port Adelaide.
This is for the
No,
Nuggets.
they're still not playing finals.
Move it on.
Jeez, Port Adelaide.
Saturday. Go on, say it. Where are we playing on Saturday?
No, Mars Stadium. He didn't get enough time, but yeah, it's could have been played anywhere. But anyway, he did.
Western Bulldogs are home to Port Adelaide. Well, Western Bulldogs are home. Their home game is in Ballarat to Port Adelaide.
You, me.
Oh, what's
Well, I think the Western Bulldogs will continue on their merry way.
This is a cracking game, though.
Is it
Well,
really?
no, don't go by Port Adelaide last week. They'll go out. They can beat Bulldogs.
They can.
They can.
How?
They can.
Is it because of the stadium or where they're playing it at?
No.
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 Port Adelaide's got enough good players,
Have they?
mate.
They do.
They've got 3 of the best on ball
They
in
do.
the business.
The Dogs are going well without personnel.
Bulldogs, and I said this in our last episode, they've been tremendous, and I've got to give them credit because I never do give them enough credit. Look, I'm going the Dogs, but they're not going to have it their own way. Like, they'll just cruise through. Port Adelaide will take it up to them. But I think the Dogs will get over the line, couple goals.
8 points.
Couple goals.
Dogs by 8 points.
8 points. I reckon the
I'd love to pick Port.
Nah.
I'd love to pick Port.
I said they can, but the Dogs will win. The Dogs will win.
I reckon. Go.
No, I was going to say, I don't think this is a challenge whatsoever for
A hiding.
Bulldogs. I didn't say that. I said not a challenge.
So comfortable all day.
Yeah, just comfortable. 3 to 5 goals. They pose no threat, Port Adelaide. The 3 players of Sydney last year.
So they're Sydney last year.
Yeah.
Horn Francis,
Yeah.
Rosie,
Butters
and
and
Butters.
Rosie.
Thanks for stating obvious.
Georgiades was good up forward, I thought.
He can
very
kick
good.
11
He's
goals
very
good.
and still lose the game.
Oh, if
Mate,
he kicks 11, they win
win.
by
Yeah.
10
They,
goals.
they might win by a couple of points, but Bulldogs don't rely on anyone. Not one
No.
player.
No, they're incredible.
That's the
they're
difference
great,
here.
yeah.
They're a great team at the moment, and if one isn't best on ground, the next one is. There's not one standout this year for the Bulldogs.
No, I agree.
That's why they'll beat Port easy.
Yeah, I think they'll win, but I don't think they'll have it their own way. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. You're going Western Bulldogs.
By 8 points.
Okay.
But I really, it wouldn't surprise me if Port Adelaide
No, that
won.
wouldn't surprise
I'd
me
be
either.
shocked.
Would
No,
you be shocked?
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Shocked.
shocked.
Port Adelaide are going all right. And you know what? If they win this game of footy,
Going all
they
right.
are seriously going all right.
Struggled against North Melbourne. They're going all right. Oh, okay.
So you're just going to go like
Doesn't
that.
work like that. You
I'm
know
going on current form.
They got
That's
the
all you
point.
can go
They
by.
got the W last week.
Yeah,
And they've
so
won
did
3 in a
Western
row.
Bulldogs
They've won
against
3 in a-
GWS, the almighty GWS. Come on.
Yeah.
Dogs are flying at the moment.
Exactly.
You're right.
It's the twilight game next at 4:15 at the Adelaide Oval, and it's Adelaide versus Carlton.
Oh, you're going to me.
Oh, well, it's your beloved Adelaide.
I like that.
Versus
It is my beloved Adelaide.
your beloved Carlton.
Just a quick one. This is for Carlton. All fans. Peter Buzaste passed away today,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is a shock to all of us. 'cause
Age of 67.
I think
Gee.
growing up, he was everyone's favourite player.
You know how much I love him, mate.
Oh, but we all did.
Loved
Like,
him.
Whether you're a Carlton supporter or not, it's like Buddy Franklin. Like, you love watching him. You love watching Cyril. You love watching Buzaste, you know.
Just on Bazasta before you continue on about the game. So, how many games did you say played about? I know we don't know exactly.
40 to 50.
Okay, so
Didn't
thereabouts.
play much, yeah.
We
What
spoke
the
about
impact,
this.
yeah.
The impact that man had on
In
just
50 games,
2 years
yeah.
or 3 years
Yeah.
of footy.
He was a
I'm
legend
sorry.
in
He was a
terms,
legend
yeah.
in 2 years. Carlton, like
Yeah,
everyone talks about
Carlton
him.
legend and AFL legend. But anyway,
Anyway,
Mark
rest-
of the day goal. Sorry, Mark of the year goal of the year in '81.
Yeah.
against the same
Yeah.
club.
It's Against the
with
same
Cyril.
club, yeah.
Yeah.
The smother was
Geelong.
the goal,
Geelong.
and the big mark at the Heatley stand
yeah,
end
it
in
was
the goal
Geelong.
square. It was just strange when he retired. He just said, "Look, I'm done. I'm
done, yeah,
going to
no
go
more."
and play," because it was midway through the year, I believe,
something like that.
and
right?
he decided to play a state game for WA.
and broke his hand or something, and then
Well,
never played again, or something like that. I
He
don't know.
might have, but he already made the announcement. I'm going back to WA, but I'm not. I'm going to WA to play the state game. mid-year.
So
But I'm not coming back.
He didn't fly back by helicopter like Pete.
Didn't fly
No.
back. He didn't come back at all.
Pete Hudson.
He left Carlton,
Brian
played the
Peake.
state game, and never came back.
But rest in peace.
Yeah, rest
Buzz.
in peace, Buzz.
Gun.
You legend.
Yes.
So Adelaide Carlton. Jeez, I don't like Adelaide if Phil Thorpe's out. Like they've
Well,
lost
yeah, he will be out.
Is he out?
Yeah, he's got a
Oh, he's got a
broken finger,
Yes.
dislocated finger.
Something like that.
That's a big loss for them.
His beard is really going well, isn't it?
It's
Love
very
it. It's
bushy
magnificent.
and out of control.
No, it's not bushy. And it's not out of control.
It is.
It's not.
Have you seen those whiskers?
His new nickname
It
should
is.
be
It
Banjo.
is beautiful and straight.
So you're
he
trying to
straightens
emulate
it.
it, eh?
Well, I don't know if I can get there, but
You're
It
trying.
was-
You haven't given a fair.
yeah, it was
great.
beautifully straightened. It was
Yeah.
magnificent.
Anyway.
Oh, fair enough. I don't know who wins.
Jeez,
this.
he's not giving enough kudos to his beard.
I really don't look at his beard.
It's
to be
Ned
honest.
Kelly-esque.
It is.
It is. Didn't he wear a helmet, Ned Kelly? But anyway,
Well, yeah, he was an opening
you could see the
batsman
beard.
for the Bushrangers, so he
Yeah, he
had to
was.
wear a helmet.
Was he?
Yeah. The Bushrangers.
He's a Bushranger.
Hello.
Oh dear. It's Monday afternoon and we're all tired. I don't know why, but we are. Who wins? I don't know.
Well, you got to make a call.
You can go first.
Okay, well, I'm with you on the Tilthorpe, or Thilthorpe, however you pronounce it. I agree. If he's out, that's a massive loss for him. But it leaves a hole there. But Adelaide home ground, they're a different side at home, you'd think. Carlton's up and about. I know they had 2 easy kills, but they were good against Geelong. Whether I agree with the break that they had or not, they still played well enough to win the game. As much as you said, oh, no, they're gone. And again, they got over the line.
What are you talking about? Gone.
I think Carlton will win this game by a couple of goals.
Yeah, Carlton.
too much firepower for me.
Carlton for me. Adelaide's in a bit of a trough.
Yeah.
Carlton's actually playing good
They're in,
footy.
the,
You
they're,
can
in
only-
the, they're in the sink.
They're in the sink. You can only play who you get put in front. Forget the North Melbourne and the West Coast games.
Yeah.
They were pretty good against Geelong.
Yep.
I didn't get to do my review because I was absent.
Absent.
Doing a Hawthorn
We
West
did the
Coast
roll
game.
call. We did the roll call.
I
You
wasn't
went out.
here.
You didn't
but
say yeah.
But I had a ball at Hawthorn West Coast.
Yeah, you would have. Sure you did.
They were really good, Carlton. And they went the distance, like you said in the show. You said that they had the answers.
They did. They
I
did.
reckon they're better than Adelaide. Just
At the
generally.
moment, yeah. Again, you're probably going to say the same thing. Go,
Well,
go.
they travelling is no fear for Carlton. They?
No,
All right.
no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. That's the only thing that worries me. And what also worries me, and this is a Carlton thing, this isn't about the last 3 weeks. So they played well last week. I don't rate the other 2 victories like no one does.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
So last week, that's where it counted against Geelong. I don't want this belief just to be, I will show up and like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've won 3 games.
If that's their attitude, they'll lose.
No, but it has been attitude in the past, right? So by all rights, they should win this game.
Absolutely.
Like, looking at it,
They're not clear-cut favourites. Like, going to Adelaide's no.
Yeah, but-
every week going to Adelaide for every team's going to be.
agreed. But
Difficult.
again, if they have any desire, they win this game. That's
Agreed.
it.
If they got beat, you wouldn't be filthy, though, surely.
I'd be appalled.
It wouldn't be filthy for
Mate,
fifth.
he'd be filthy, I'll tell you now.
I think Carlton win just.
Okay. Yeah, we're all in the same...
Interesting, Carlton won their 6th consecutive game at the G last week. They're doing all right at the G.
So they've got no hope in this
No,
one then.
they've got no hope at
Got no
this
hope.
one.
Who'd you
No, it was
think
just a
you
little...
Carlton did
Yeah, I
that?
think Carlton win by
Okay.
15 points.
I said that a couple of goals.
It'll be a real battle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be all their way.
One thing I don't rate is Adelaide's defence. I think
Nah,
that's
it's
where Carlton can
run of
get
the mill,
them.
mate. Run of the mill. At
Play
best.
quick
And-
and get them on the...
I'm not even going to tell you because you'll go, no way. Are you joking? You'll just still say something like that.
I don't even know what you're going to say.
If Carlton beat Adelaide, Carlton's got every right to start thinking, and their supporters, well, we're on our way here. We should be playing. We should play finals.
No, they'll play finals. From here on, I've
and
said
give
they'll
or
play
take a couple of another big wins. Like, you know, they can be looking at the home final and finishing the top 6.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. No, I don't see... I'm with you.
After a 0-5 start, it's a massive
4.
It's a massive recovery.
Totally.
Big call. But
Anyway,
Big one Saturday night, 7:30 MCG, Collingwood versus Geelong. Big one. Is Geelong wobbly?
yeah, a little bit.
I just think they're tired. I know they're
Yeah.
wobbly. I think...
Are they tired from what, though?
on?
What are they tired? Are they tired from
Football.
No,
I think
just
they
from
play
football.
No, just fatigue, maybe. Like I said, I know I keep harping on the short breaks and whatever, but I'm just saying a couple of short breaks, maybe. They can't match Collingwood Saturday night. Can't help you.
No. If we're going like for like, they
We're going
can't.
like
It's
for
hard to go the whole every week for 22 rounds.
No,
It is.
So
No,
they are
you're
also
right.
in a little bit, and Collingwood's in a hot spot at the moment.
Okay, can you see Geelong just turning around and beating Collingwood on
No.
Saturday night? Just like that?
No,
I
I'll
can't.
tell you why. It's Collingwood's best start defensively in the first 7 rounds since 1967.
Really?
It's massive.
463 points they've conceded. That's their best start defensively.
What's that?
In
80
how many
points?
years? How many
So-
years?
It's about 82 points a game.
If what? How many rounds of play?
Seven.
How many points did you say?
463.
So that's about 70 odd, just 65, something around the
65,
65.
less than
around
that.
the
And
65.
what's
That's
1967?
my
50 more, 50 plus years. It's their best start
Okay, there you
defensively.
go.
Another one defensively, Isaac Quano, when he gets 4 intercept marks or more, or possessions or more,
They win.
they win. They are 15-0 when he does that.
Far out.
I'm not saying he's their best defender.
I know what you
Nah,
mean.
but-
It's just, yeah.
And the last time he didn't do that was the 2022 preliminary final. It's 15-0 Collingwood are. 15 wins, no losses when Quaynor gets 4 intercepts.
Well, stats
or more.
don't lie,
And
mate.
on the
If that's-
weekend, on Anzac Day, he got 4.
And they won.
And they won comfortably, though. But they were never going to lose that game. But,
So what I'm saying, defensively, Collingwood's got them.
oh, no, I agree.
And
I
I
think
think
so.
I think Geelong struggled attackingly.
Mate.
Now, another one to back my reason why I think Collingwood wins, because like everyone thinks that I hate Collingwood and that I don't pick
might
Collingwood,
wanna-
and
you might
apparently
wanna-
I haven't. Apparently, it's a disaster that I have to pick Collingwood every week because it's been noted that
They're only sitting on top of the ladder.
No.
Like, it's not
Only
like...
sitting on top of the ladder.
Well, Collingwood had
comfortably.
a slow start. They got whacked in round 1.
That's
and
all.
And
And
I
that
was
was
happy.
it.
And I was unsure about the recovery of Darcy Moore. Like, he had a poor year. Is he going to...
Is he back this
Now
week?
he's... and my question
maybe,
marks in the
maybe,
reviews
maybe.
were can Sidebottom and can Pendlebury and can Elliott.
There's your
stand
answer.
up? It was a question, and that's why I didn't think they could. But they have.
fair.
Yeah.
That's why they're 6-zip.
But they've got the second best player in
Geelong,
the AFL.
the kicking efficiency is 17th ranked going
Yes, I
into
knew
the
that.
forward half.
I did know that.
So there's 3 facts why I don't think
Well, they've got
Geelong
no
can
hope
beat
there.
Collingwood and why Collingwood can
Nah,
defend
Collingwood-
and win.
Collingwood easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Collingwood easily. It's
It's not as a big. Sorry, it's not as a big game as you look at it on paper.
No, it is a big game.
It is, but what I'm saying is,
massive game for Geelong.
it is. But what I'm
This is their
saying is,
season right there.
unfortunately,
No, it's not their season.
Collingwood.
season.
Jeez, they fall out of the 8, they lose this.
Yeah, I know, but it's not.
3 in a row they
But it's
lose
not their
this.
season, is it?
Nah, not
in a
round
row.
8, round 7. No. Collingwood's got it covered, mate, no problem.
So Jack Crisp breaks the record for
Yes,
consecutive
That's
games.
incredible.
Never
Yep.
missed a game of football.
Amazing.
Never missed a game of football.
Is that
At,
right?
at that level,
That's
he didn't miss any at Brisbane.
Well, yeah, but consecutive.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that
No.
continued on from when he was at
Oh,
Brisbane?
as far as I know,
That's
has
amazing.
to. If it's
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
that much he has to, of course. That's
That's
incredible.
incredible.
Outrageous when you think about it.
It's just defies
You got
logic.
blokes that are out every 4 weeks.
He's
Yeah.
never been injured though. So Jim Steins had like broken fingers and that and played on.
And played through,
'cause
yeah.
He's a ruckman, a
Yeah.
bit different.
This bloke,
But
I know.
he doesn't get injured. This guy, touch wood.
Yeah.
But even if he does, he's broken the record. That is
that's
the most
massive.
incredible thing
It is.
I've
when you think
almost
about it.
ever seen in football. Like honestly, 245 games. That's what 10, 12 years
Yeah,
of
12.
not missing one game.
Yeah.
11 years.
And he's a star, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go.
Collingwood,
Collingwood.
Let's move on.
Moving on to the Saturday game at Optus Stadium across the Nullarbor. West Coast are home to Melbourne at Perth Stadium.
Yep.
Optus Stadium.
Optus Stadium.
Perth Stadium.
Well, that's what the original name of the place was called. And if you listen,
Really?
if you listen on the ABC radio,
Oh, because they can't. Yeah, of course.
they call it Perth Stadium. They call Marvel Stadium Docklands.
Who
They don't go by the because
Who
Yeah.
listens to ABC radio?
I don't know.
Because
I used to in the cricket days.
No, it was the Sounds of Summer.
No, but it's a lovely block by border.
Gee, that's a long time.
That's a lovely block by border.
You know, Sullivan's, remember that show? They did that once. They commentated cricket 'cause it was in the war era, right? And I remember, I was a kid, right? I remember this episode. Kitty, maybe her name? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Kitty.
She was commentating cricket, but someone was going, it's a
In the radio studio.
No, they were in the kitchen.
Oh my god!
Right? And they'll explain to her what to say. Like, she didn't know, she enjoyed cricket and she commentated cricket, but she didn't know all the positions and stuff.
So
and they're going deep, fine leg, or whatever, right? Yeah. It was actually good,
So
Sullivan's.
talking about that, you've spoken. So Richie Benno was the best with the highlights packages.
Richie Benno was the best.
Holding to Jones.
What end are they coming from?
Oh,
The nursery end?
Depends where they're at.
The
Which
Paddington
round.
end
Yeah,
or
Paddington
the nursery end? I've seen
West Coast play Melbourne.
I've seen
Yeah,
footage.
that's why we're talking about this.
I've seen footage. I'm
Yeah,
going to
fair
get
point.
this. I've seen
Fair
footage of Alan McGilvray in the 40s, 50s,
Who's
and
that?
60s.
Yeah,
Alan McGilvray was a famous commentator.
Yeah, he was.
I'm going to use this, and he would commentate live back from England back to Australia with a pen or a little hammer, and he'd sort of say the bowler comes in, and that's a hit down to the covers, and that's 3 for 4.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Because obviously they didn't have microphones.
That
True.
is-
Go on YouTube,
yeah.
you'll see it.
Barnes turns, runs in, bowling to Bradman. It's ball well pitched. Bradman moves forward, drives. Cotton at cover tries to cut it off, but is beaten by the pace of the ball, and it races away for another 4.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Anyway,
That's
talk-
it for Melbourne West Coast. Moving
Yeah,
on.
Melbourne wins. Let's move on.
You're going to get lambasted, mate. Not
Come
give
on,
West
this is
Coast.
rubbish.
Melbourne win by a mile.
Not a mile, but they
They'll
win.
win comfortably.
They're just not. West
They're
Coast
not
is not capable.
No, that's it.
I had a close look last night on, like, even their big name, like Graham and Baker and
You can't
Owies.
depend.
They're just.
Jeez,
They're
he's
just
always had a kick.
No, he hasn't.
Sprayed a few last night too.
What's
but
Tim Kelly got dropped again, or was
Yep.
he injured?
No, I don't know. He didn't play, but I
Don't
don't
know.
know.
Don't know
I
if he got dropped or-
But
he
let me
didn't
tell
play,
you
but
something.
yeah.
They're potentially going to lose all jokes aside. Reed and Oscar Allen. What happens
Oscar
there?
Allen's gone. We know
Gonski's
that.
Brisbane Lions,
Yeah, but Harley Reid,
Essendon
whatever. What happens then?
Or
Seriously.
or Richmond. Imagine Harley Reid.
They've
going to
got
Richmond.
20 draft picks. Go
Could
for
you
it.
imagine?
Yeah, I
Harley
what
Reid
happens
with
there?
Lawler.
Well,
I'd
you're
go for
right.
it
What
if I was
happens
Richmond.
there? The club's very well financially secure.
Oh, yeah,
they've
they've
got
got-
100,000
yeah.
members.
Yeah, but they're an inept
just-
club. They've been arrogant for 20 years, and they're starting to get their right whack.
It's true.
They've been arrogant ever since they won that premiership.
In 218.
Yeah, they've been arrogant. Oh yeah, we'll just mosey along. Yeah, don't worry about COVID. Yeah, we don't want to play.
I reckon the 218 flag, they came up on them. I don't think they weren't the best side in the cop that
not
year.
even close. But they won it.
They won it,
Good
mate.
luck to you.
You got to give them
but-
credit. Anyway.
But now they're copping it. Anyway,
That's all we got?
Let's move on. Yeah, that's all.
I
we've
didn't
got.
even do a tip. Doesn't really matter.
Oh, Melbourne, right?
Sunday SCG 110. Sydney Swans versus GWS. It's the Harbour Bridge
Battle of the Bridge.
Battle of the Bridge.
So do they get the bridge? Do they if they win?
Now I didn't make a. I was on the show, so I'm allowed to make comments on the show, aren't I? Like everyone else did.
Yeah, all the
If
comments
if
will
you
be
must. Depends what you're going to say.
Well, you
lambastings.
talked about GWS's forward line and how they.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
No, I disagree. I actually.
Yeah, go on. What?
GWS's midfield is substandard. Let's be honest. Since they moved
Jeez.
Perryman on and they moved the other.
Who's the other bloke that they? You're right. Who's the other bloke?
They moved
three on.
They moved three midfielders.
went Perryman?
Isaac Cumming.
Peatling, Perryman,
and Isaac
Cumming.
Cumming.
That's the other one.
So they removed their B graders
Yeah.
Replace them with D.
and they're replacing with nothing. Callahan's played 2 good games of footy. He's fallen away. Bedford's just a run with.
Yeah, he's
player.
okay. Yeah, he's
Josh
okay.
Kelly's had 2 clearances in 2 weeks.
What's going on?
That's poor.
Is he starting to?
And then
age?
you've got Tom Green, obviously, who's he's working his
battling,
backside
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Their midfield is the reason why.
poor.
Forget their forward line. They've got a great assembly of forwards.
Have
They can score. Of course, they can score.
Cullen Ward, I know he battles still, but he's just about done.
Yeah,
He's a
Whitfield
sub
off
on the
half back. He was so.
Yeah, he was sub,
Yeah, that was my
Lucky they've got a good
rebuttal.
defence.
I was going to type it
Yeah.
on my personal.
You should have. Lucky they've got a good defence, GWS.
Oh yeah, best one of the best in the business.
Yeah. Luck. They're very lucky.
One of the best in the
'cause-
business.
I don't know. For 2 weeks, they haven't scored, so I don't know what the problem is. Like, yes, their
I told you
midfield-
what their problem is. Their midfield is getting whacked.
It is.
It's
yeah.
very
But what-
average
So when it gets
So-
in there, they're not able to score. Also.
because it's not coming in the way they like
Told
it.
you on the last episode.
So it has to be on the platter
Dependence-
for them every time.
Dependence on
I'm just-
Hogan, mate. Too much.
What about your legendary Toby Green? Kicked 5 goals 3 weeks
So
ago.
Toby Green should go to the midfield and help out
Well,
that crew.
Yeah, well, that's not his fault. It's up to the
Don't
coach.
you
No,
reckon?
no,
Yeah.
it's his fault. He's the captain. He can do what he wants.
He should go into the
He
midfield.
can make a call. Oh, we need help there. I'm going
Yeah,
there.
they need help.
No, that's leadership, mate.
But you're right. I never thought of before we go on. I never thought of those 3 they lost.
Big losses.
I know
Not
that they
big
weren't,
losses,
they
but-
weren't elite, but
In the scheme of things.
Yeah.
scheme of things,
Because you've got to
that's-
replace
Yeah.
them. So when
And they
you
didn't
replace
really,
them-
did they?
No.
nah. But I do like.
McMullen is another one.
But I do like. I
And
do
the bloke
like,
with the lid, he's all right. He goes all right.
Okay, but
What's
geez,
the
you
bloke
need-
with the lid surname? Jones?
Jones.
James.
I like
Good
him.
Darcy
footballer.
Jones.
He's good,
He's-
mate.
Go through the
he's
middle.
okay. Yeah, well, he's not capable. He's little.
So this is at the SCG.
Anyway,
Firstly,
yeah.
with Sydney Swans, there's a little crew following me that agree with me on this. Sydney Swans Guernsey.
What about it?
It was horrendous.
I can't remember.
Why's he got this Guernsey thing this year?
I've got a little bit of a crew following me and agreeing with me. because Freo and Adelaide Guernseys were horrendous on Friday night. Sydney's was what? They're wearing black shorts.
Yeah, I know.
They wore black shorts.
That was odd.
What's going
Who
on?
wore black shorts and had the Sydney look? Is that South Fremantle or one of them?
Yeah, South Fremantle. Yeah, in the
Am I
waffle.
right?
In the waffle.
Am I right?
Yep. Yeah, in the waffle.
South Fremantle.
Are they South or are they East?
One of them, I don't know. One of those clubs. Am I right?
East Freo are blue. They're the Royals, aren't they? And South
I don't
Freo
know.
are the Bulldogs.
We don't know. Let us know in the comments if you
I just
Yeah,
said
there
it.
is a
But
club that used
anyway, Sydney, Guernseys, horrible. It's just, we'll go on with that.
Who wins?
Fair enough.
Oh, GWS bounced back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
they
do
bounced
think so.
back.
Sydney were horrendous in the second half yesterday. Horrendous.
I don't think they can save
And
themselves.
they played in the heat.
They're
And
going
played in the
backwards, Sydney, at a rate of knots.
heat. Yeah.
They are, aren't they?
GWS for me.
Tough one. SCG. I just favour GWS, and I mean just.
Okay.
Sydney will be up for it.
Yeah, they have to be.
They
I
got
mean,
5 goals up in front of Gold Coast, so...
you want to talk about season on the line, even though I think they play finals. Sydney, right?
Oh,
there.
yeah, I
Nah,
agree.
they're gone.
I
Sydney
agree.
finished.
I agree.
No hope.
Sunday at the MCG, 3:20, Hawthorn versus Richmond.
Should we get on to the next game? Because let's be honest,
No, Hawthorn
waste
comfortably.
of time.
Richmond will have a crack, but not good enough.
they don't have to try Hawthorn. They'll win by 40 or 50 points.
Yeah, I
They won't
agree.
win
A bit
by
like
80.
last
They-
night.
Yeah, they don't need to.
A bit like last
That's it.
night.
Richmond have a crack.
They've had a good run, Hawthorn.
Yeah,
Richmond, West Coast.
they're doing all right.
They have to play North next week, top it off. Anyway,
Yeah,
maybe,
lovely.
maybe they do.
next.
Sunday, 7:20, Gabba, Brisbane Gold Coast. That's the Q clash.
Gabba.
Game of the round, I reckon.
It is the game of the round.
Collingwood Geelong's up there.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Collingwood
no.
Geelong. But this is a beauty.
This is a
Yeah.
ripper, mate.
So,
I agree.
another comment. I'll spit that out. Another
Spit it
comment,
out.
if
Yeah.
I may.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't in the show, so I'm allowed to say it.
Bring it on.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Mate, you said Gold Coast,
Mm-hmm.
season on the line, had they not beaten Sydney.
Yep. They played at home.
What is wrong with you?
They played at home.
Give Gold Coast something, mate.
They played Sydney at home.
That's fine.
Angelo.
Sydney,
The week before they lost. Hang on. Oh,
They played Sydney at home.
You're just so
Oh, yeah, sorry,
hard.
Gold Coast.
You're so hard on Gold Coast. You're so
13
hard on
years they
them.
haven't played finals.
I don't care what they did.
I do.
This year they are 5-1.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. Who'd they lose to 2 weeks ago?
they lost to Richmond. Do you want me to go through?
Hang on, hold on. We. Lost to Richmond. So if they go to lose to Sydney on their home ground, that's not season
No.
defining, is it? Okay.
No, it just puts
Okay,
them.
the Gold Coast.
puts
The Gold
them-
Coast. Gold
It
Coast.
puts
play
them
finals.
5-2.
Gold Coast play finals, touch and go.
Oh, come on. Gold Coast have a chance to play make the
Let's
top
go back
4.
10 years when Gary Ablett was there.
No,
no,
I'm not comparing
No,
Gary
no,
Ablett from
no,
10
you
years
have
ago to
You
Gold
have-
Coast.
You,
No,
you have
you
to,
don't.
mate. The culture's still there, Angelo. Why didn't they show up against Richmond? They couldn't be bothered.
Do you want me to go through 25 upsets over the last 20 years where a side like Richmond's knocked off Gold Coast?
We're talking about Gold Coast. We're not talking about upsets. We're talking
Come
about
on,
Gold
give him
Coast.
something.
I'm enjoying this.
Give him something.
Mate, they will lose to Brisbane.
Oh, they might, but that's
Oh,
a
yeah,
good
they
opposition.
I think Brisbane.
I know
But is
that.
the season on the line for them?
Last week it was. If they lost to Sydney, okay. So they lose to Richmond, they lose to
it's
Sydney, and
not.
they lose to Brisbane. Season wasn't on the line against
Because
Sydney.
they've lost 3 in a row. Again, do you want me to go through 20 teams of the last 20 years, lost 3 in a row and made
Mate,
finals?
they cannot afford to lose these games.
Tell me, I'm not putting my neck on the line. They'll play finals this year, Gold Coast.
Great. Jeez, there's going to be...
Touch and go.
You reckon?
Touch and go. I'm not saying no.
I'm not saying I said that they can make the top 4.
Touch
but
and no.
Top 4.
They can make it mathematically. Of course they can.
Oh, so can St Kilda. But they won't.
You're just too hard on Gold Coast, mate.
Okay,
and
I'm
I'm going to
not.
be on that wagon right on your tail for the rest of the year.
You can be on for 70 years. I don't care.
I don't care what happened 10 years ago or last year.
No, but I don't care about Gold Coast, and I never will, mate. They're a
Why?
manufactured. They're a manufactured side has been given
Understood.
the world by the AFL.
Get that.
The
I get that.
goddamn world, right?
I get that.
Still have not played finals.
That's fair.
No,
That's fair.
If we're serious, if the AFL's serious, it's a business, this thing. It's not a sport, it's a business, right?
Yeah, we know that.
Okay, if they're serious, with Tasmania coming in, they can't have 19 teams,
Here we go.
right? So they should say, no, this hasn't worked, Gold Coast. Did the Gold Coast Titans work for NRL?
No, I get ya.
Did they get rid of them?
The soccer
They
team
ain't
the
getting
same
rid
thing.
of Gold
work.
Coast.
No, hold on.
I
Doesn't
guarantee
matter,
you.
doesn't matter what you or I think, but did it work in Gold Coast,
won't.
those teams? They took
No.
them out because it didn't work. Has this worked? Be honest.
Well,
they get
up to-
5,000 to a home game.
don't get-
Oh, I've got
You're
no
right.
issue. I think that's the
So
way
has
we
this
all
worked?
accepted it.
Has this
Well,
worked?
yeah, it's fine.
So this is an
Mate,
outrage.
are you saying that
a
Gold
success.
Coast should be winning flags after 10 years of their
Is
inception?
this a success?
Or 14
Do
years?
you think Gold Coast has been a success?
After 14 years, it's fine. They're tracking okay.
Crowd-wise,
You
they're
don't reckon they're not tracking okay?
They-
So you
I
expect
think-
them to win a flag after 14 years in a
No,
non-footy
no.
state?
I expect them to build a
Come
club
on.
and have 30,000 people at the game.
Really?
Right, when they've got half a state to what? To,
hang
to
on,
pick
before you
from.
go on, I agree with you. The crowd's horrendous. though.
Horrendous.
But it's not about the crowds, is it?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
it about
yeah,
the crowds?
100%.
It's got to be a
So
So you
little
want
bit.
to have 30,000 every week? Just
They-
because Sydney do... GWS is the same.
Yeah, they're not. Great.
I know that, but they've
So-
played in
But
grand
they're
finals
successful.
and
But that comes down to recruiting. That's not the club and it should be folding. Come on.
recruiting.
Yeah.
They've had draft pick after draft pick after draft pick
And
after
they've
draft pick, and
got it
and
wrong
players,
over years, I
and
get that.
players keep leaving the club because they don't want to be there because it's a mess. Okay, because the AFL don't know how to run this club, and they keep pumping money into it.
They do. The AFL
and
help
then
them, mate.
and then we go, oh come on, give Gold Coast a go, mate. How much of a go do you want?
So you want to just get rid of them because
hang on.
you
How
don't
about,
want
how about your
19...
club? If that was North Melbourne,
Yeah.
right, and the AFL, let's ask you, how about North Melbourne, right? The AFL keep pumping money into these muppets, right?
Yeah.
And your club is struggling, right? Can't win games, membership's not great.
Which is true.
Yeah. Why is the AFL pumping money into North Melbourne? A team
fair.
that's been there for 100 years.
That's fair.
I don't know why, but
fair.
you're having
I'm
a
just
crack
saying.
at
No,
Gold
'cause
Coast.
you're right. They're trying to pump. I get what you're
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Come to your senses. It hasn't been a success, AFL, and have the balls to go, let's bring in Tasmania. It hasn't worked. That's it. That's all
Mate,
I'm
they
saying.
finished 2 games out the 8 last
I
year
don't
and 2
care.
games out the 8 the year
But they haven't
before. It's
played
not as if
finals.
they've won 3 games in
until
3 years
until
like
they do
North
so-
Melbourne.
Until they do something.
They've been competitive
How many
enough.
premierships has North Melbourne won?
Well, what are you asking me that for?
No, I'm just asking you,
Yeah.
out of curiosity.
Well, yeah.
4? How many have Gold Coast won?
Mate, you're comparing apples and
No,
oranges.
I'm not.
You are.
Mate, the handout Gold Coast are getting from the AFL.
No, they get a lot of
should
hand-
have-
they
they
do.
should have at
So
least-
why didn't
at
North get a handout in 1973?
at-
Mate, come on.
North went and changed the rules and
It's
won a
different.
premiership.
That's right. 50 years ago.
They're owned by the AFL, right? They
Yeah.
still haven't played finals.
But you...
Oh, that's. Oh, I can't, I'm not copping that.
Never
They
ending
haven't
debate.
played They haven't played finals.
They've never
ever.
played
Yeah, you're
finals
right.
ever.
I thought
Who's that,
they
Gold
just missed
Coast?
out.
Gold
Yeah.
Coast.
No, they've never
No,
played
they've never
finals.
played. I'm
But
not copping
look,
that.
on that side of it, there's the argument for both. But it's pretty poor after all these years. They haven't even made an appearance in the finals.
Yeah.
Like, and if they don't make one soon, you got to start to question and go, all right, 15, 16 years go by and you still can't play. At least
But in
make
a
finals.
non-football state, non-football
I
code,
get
they're
that.
up against
But if it was 4 or 5 years,
NRL, it's
if
a
it was-
stronghold.
So-
If it
Plus,
was
that's not-
hang on.
Sorry.
If it was 4 or 5 years, you go, you got to give them time. If it gets to 16, 17 years,
you
gotta
don't
start
reckon
to-
that's enough? That's
not to play
around-
finals at all, though.
Not to even
They're-
appear in finals.
their town is a fun state. It's a fun area. It's not.
So do they get
know,
players?
Gun by a park.
Gun by a park.
Got to go buy a
You've
park.
got to have.
So do they get players?
You've got to have exemptions for places like the Gold Coast. You
I
have to,
think they're
mate.
running out. I think they're running out of
So
exemptions.
do
I
they
think.
get players like locally that play, or do they
No.
just get draft picks? They can
They're
get
in the
anyone
dr-
for Victoria.
That's
Perth.
right.
Yeah, correct.
So there's no excuse.
Well, we have.
They've got an academy and they get 8 players every year.
That's right.
They still can't play finals.
That's true.
Come on.
Jed Walters, a few of the
Oh
others.
my
have got-
god, they get 5 a year.
That's a recruiting conversation we're having, not a
know, but still-
location.
but- I know
Equals
what
the
you're
club.
saying.
It equals what we're seeing every week. This is a great discussion. I love this. This is
Anyway,
awesome.
having said that, Brisbane lost 6 goals.
Brisbane will smack them.
I don't think they'll smack
think they'll
them.
beat them.
For
I don't know
God's
if they'll
sake,
smack
Gold
them. Maybe
Coast,
not.
can you be competitive so I can have a crack next
It'll
week?
be 6 goals for sure. Yeah. I agree.
So this is called the Ange and Andrew Cup.
It is. Turn into a cup.
Oh yeah, Brisbane. Oh, we'll think Brisbane. That's
problem.
amazing.
No
That's,
problem.
That's funny.
have
anyway.
a crack, Gold Coast. Just have a crack.
Have a crack for his sake.
Oh, your Guernseys are still horrible though.
Yeah, oh, they're so how much do they spend on those Guernseys?
Well, that's right. They probably gave a 22-year-old that's just done 4 years of
$500,000
architecture in colours or something.
to put a G on there.
put a-
Come on.
and you can't see the G.
Oh,
Do you know that? Well, I know which commentator goes, oh, when Bailey Humphrey kicked his 3rd or 4th goal, he goes, oh, there's remnants of Dustin Martin there.
Is it?
Are you joking me? Are you taking the urine out of this game or what?
He must have gone out of coffee with him. That's the remnant. Kidding yourself.
You know what they're saying? Hardwood coach, trying to
Oh,
get this.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know what I'm trying to get at? They're
Yeah.
trying to clone it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he came in
Anyway,
tied Dustin Martin's
it's the
shoelaces.
Q clash.
Totally agree.
Brisbane with 50 years experience in their state versus Gold Coast have been there 3 minutes. 50? Not 50, but
Yeah,
well,
anyway,
they've been there the best part of 40.
30.
Anyway,
odds.
They're just coming from a long way back. Anyway, there you have it, our preview of round 8 in the books, election weekend. Let us know who you think wins, and we'll see you in the next one.